against. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother, we the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Our Father who art in heaven, I love when you toss me blessings. You never throw interceptions, I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to not the devil when built like Tiana Teller. And balling at 27, I feel like Iman Shumpert. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive, the streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class, seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united, allegiant my soul forever. I murdered my adolescence, assault with a friendly weapon. I verbally dissect them to help them get back together. Wanting the stranger things, I handle it like 11. My point is I guard the kids. I should play for the Celtics. Watch how I Euro step them and curry them like I'm stepping. Whenever I'm in your town, the warriors in your presence. I manifest my endeavors. I'm blessed and I'm getting better. I walk amongst living legends. Coach Contra will live forever. Oh.
New goals, new goals, baby boo. Got my wrist in these grits, tryna whip something new. I am sick of this rampant. So are you. Hold on, switch. Mama, I'm gonna introduce my ego. Since the world full of villains, then let's introduce the heroes. We the good guys, no blood on our hands. Hands Tito, she a back. Finna, guarantee though. Move back. Type of view is that on the globe? It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, lend a helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that in the mirror oversold. Call me Reason A, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big pun, bigger punishment. I give him hell, getting done. Keep it blunt enough, you can't cough drop. Tell them hard for their health.
Al fin han encontrado el negrito con los colorados, el mejor desde Colombia, los estados, para los que no.
So even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Las Vegas Raiders. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And the tight end goes in motion left. Now last year's leading rusher in the NFL, this is Jonathan Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. First and 10, Taylor now. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. On the counter, it's Taylor. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Allinger to throw on 1st down. Pass out left, caught by Woods. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd down and 7. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It will be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Allinger to throw. Oh, he's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Running left, Taylor. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well defended right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds him and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run once more with Taylor. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And that's exactly what you're looking for, the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Now Ellinger. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now first carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
Think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Here's Carr. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Shaquille Leonard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Here's Ellinger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And they have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. To Taylor on first down. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Ellinger. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Woods. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
They'll run here with Taylor. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
You get down near the goal line, you need to start enlisting the help of all 11 guys on the defense. And that's a nice job there by the cornerback, squaring his shoulders and coming in to make the tackle.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Taylor again. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Hence the score, Colts 10, Raiders 0. Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, This unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Carr going to get this to Jacobs. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Oh, wow, this whole time, I didn't know my joint was muted. I'm like, yo, these niggas, oh my gosh. I was like, yo, they ignoring me.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left.
I hope my...
We're not into December yet, but right now...
Chuck, you check my stream real quick and make sure my voice is not being shared? I feel like it's not, but I just want to make sure. No, it's on YouTube.
Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully...
Yeah, I'm playing the Colts, yeah.
That way.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Oh, man. Well, I got to mute my mic again.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On play action, Ellinger. That's going to be caught by Allie Cox. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. A give for Taylor running right side. 74 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Ellinger. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience,
and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Well, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side with Taylor. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a fourth down now.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Chase McLaughlin down for the field goal try. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fourth down, Ellinger. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those keys.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Carr going up top. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Shotgun now for Carr. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's third and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. To the right side, this is Taylor. Room here to run. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to...
And it's a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So the opposite of what they envisioned when they left that locker room, a turnover on the opening drive of this third quarter.
I like your identification there, because that's exactly what they discussed in the locker room before they came out on the field. Let's get the ball. Let's go down and score, put some points on the board, and feel good about it. Not an insurmountable lead, but definitely not how they saw it at halftime.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Taylor. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
It's interesting where we are in the game now. The analytics folks, they might tell you to kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game. But you have to wonder if emotionally they're thinking, let's go for the touchdown and try and slam the door.
And his kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
To try again after the sack. Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But let's have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
A lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a handoff, Taylor with it, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They go play action. Now Ellinger. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Colts on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. In motion comes the tight end left. From the gun on third down, Ellinger. And the Raiders have got him. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Seems to me that our friend, old momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Carr. Sliding, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Rodgers to return it. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. They'll get this down to the 38. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 99 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On third down, here's Taylor. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Ball at a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs. Because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here's Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for Indianapolis, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.